Hey everyone, welcome back. And today we're going to be going on a road trip. Well, we already actually went on a road trip, but you're going to be watching a video on the road trip, and you get to see all the pros and cons from at least our perspective anyway. And at the end of the video, we're going to talk about some of the things that we like about the road trip and some of the things that we didn't like, some needs improvements. So just stick to the end of the video, hopefully get some value out of it, and I'll see you at the end. We can get our Q&A session. This is messed up. Now I see what people mean by this. Where our last route at? We ain't here. But it'd been nice if it would say something. You know what I'm saying? To let us know that that we could have made it to this other charger, because it miscalculated severely the efficiency by how many miles? 60?
Your destination is on the right.
Uh-oh, hopefully you got more than one charger open up. You got a Volkswagen ID4 charging. Let's see if any of these jokers say unavailable. Okay, now I want to show you what we have going on here, if I can get this thing level. And as you can see, we have 330 miles of range. It's charged to 100%. And it is actually in conserve mode. Oh, I hit the wrong button. But we're in conserve mode, and the ride height is low, but I'll probably be changing that to lowest just to see if that increases the fuel efficiency on this road trip. So looks like it's actually raining outside too, which it hasn't rained in a very long time. Wish I'd have known that. Would have dumped some fertilizer in the yard. But there was no forecast for rain, but that's good. I just put some Rain X on the windshield, so that should help, I hope. I was putting it on to try to prevent some bugs, but we'll see how this works out. But yeah, so we're fully loaded. Estimated 300 miles of range again. And I'll show you the trip here in a second. Yeah, so I just sent the directions to the Rivian from Google, and it's showing our trip here. And as you're seeing right here, they're showing one charging stop right here, and that's where we're going to be charging. So we'll be traveling, I believe, 2 hours and 47 minutes before we hit that charger. And that's our route. And we're going to Branson, Missouri right here. I got the whole family loaded up. Got everyone present. Where's Mick? Where's Mr. Yeti? How'd he get up in the windowsill? Anyway, yeah, so all four of us are loaded up and we're ready to head off. And it is 11:40 a.m. our time, that's Central Standard Time. And it's saying that we have 2 hours and 47 minutes or 179 miles for our first charge. Maybe our last charge. You may not ever see us again. We'll see. See if and this is a, what's it called, charge? What's the one that has all the problems? Not Charge Point. Yeah, anyway.
I can't think of the name.
Yeah, I can't think of the name either. But yeah, so we're headed off, and our first charge is in 179 miles, and it's at a Casey's in somewhere in the middle of Missouri. And you know, Missouri's not the most I don't want to say friendly state, but there are not a lot of electric chargers in the state of Missouri. Just keep that in mind. There are very few. I think there's one stop between here and Kansas. So that just gives you an idea that they're a little behind when it comes to electric vehicles and charging stations. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to see if we're going to have 98 miles of range left. Did you already get that? Going to see if we have 98 miles of range left when we get to Lebanon, Missouri. So I'll see you all back. We're going to head off. And I'll see you all back in a few when we're on the road. Hello. Hey, welcome back everyone. We've been driving for about, let's see. This is dumb. Hey everyone, we've been driving for 105 miles. Something changed. How are we gonna jump from 76 miles to 105 miles? Average speed 67 miles an hour. And we've been driving for an hour and 34 minutes. And the efficiency is 2.5 kilowatt hours per mile, or miles per kilowatt hour. And we've used 42.3 kilowatt hours. And right now, let me go back to, right now we have an hour and a minute before we hit our destination. And our total range when we hit the charging station has gone from 118 miles. No, what was that? 98 miles before, right? Mm-hmm. From 98 miles to 127 miles. So it's actually gone up quite a bit. So we'll see if that holds up. Still kind of surprised at that. I thought it would be going down. But it also says it's preparing the battery for fast charging. So right now it's conditioning the battery and, you know, to make it charge faster and more efficiently than it otherwise would have. But yeah, it's been a nice ride so far. I've been driving, I have the cruise set at 71 miles an hour and I have the climate control set at 70 degrees and it's currently 91 degrees outside. I feel comfortable in the car. Does everyone else feel comfortable?
Yes.
So yeah, so the drive has been great so far, and I'll check back in when we hit the charging station.
In 900 feet, keep left to take exit 129. Keep left to take exit 129 onto Missouri 5 South, Missouri 32 East toward Hartville, then turn right onto Missouri 5. West on Missouri 5, Missouri 32. Then drive northwest on Missouri 5, Missouri 32. Then
Missed
turn
that
left
turn.
onto Beverly Drive.
What the heck? Okay, that was interesting.
Drive northwest on Missouri 5, Missouri 32 for a half mile. Drive southwest on Vance Road. Then, in 500 feet, turn right onto South Madison Avenue.
I wonder if this thing telling you to turn. Oh,
Turn
it's
right
telling you to
onto
turn all the way
South Madison
around.
Avenue.
It's making you go around.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, it's a big
Maybe I
loop.
just turned, okay.
Drive northeast on Vance Road. Then turn right onto Missouri 5.
Pretty busy over here.
Yeah, this is where they said all the restaurants.
In a
were.
quarter mile, turn right to take the Interstate 44 West Ramp.
Huh?
Oh, it's saying that you already went there to the place. And
Oh, I
we
did?
I guess so.
Well,
So we probably need to find out where.
this thing tripping.
Yeah, we probably need to find out where the Casey's is because this ain't it.
How would it not know we didn't charge? That's horrible. What is over here? Unless it's taking us to this one. This is
Okay,
dumb.
so why you want to just go by my phone?
What? Yeah, what your phone say?
You go out here to Morton, and then you stop at that stop sign, and then it's right here by the park.
I don't know what none of that stuff is. Does it give directions? So I wonder if because the state of charge is high, they want us to go another 72 miles to go wherever the heck this is. And they don't tell me what kind of charging station it is. Whatever. It looks like this in the middle of nowhere. Look at that. Maybe it's something there, maybe it ain't.
You want the address to just put in?
Wait a minute. What? This is... How do I get back to... This is messed up. Now I see what people mean by this, where our last route at? We ain't here. And it was directing us to the place.
I know, but then when you didn't miss the street, you just gave up.
And I don't even know how to put a new thing in here.
You want to end this thing though?
I guess so.
Okay, and then how do you put in a new destination?
Yeah, well,
I guess at the top you just type it in.
yeah, I guess so. Oh, wait a minute. Charging.
Right there. Elm Street 669. Start.
Dumb.
Okay.
Drive northeast on Beverly Drive. Then turn left onto Missouri 5. Continue for a half mile.
Someone about told me to turn before.
I don't know. It made no sense. And then it just stopped.
I think it gave up on me charging.
Mm-hmm.
In a
Is
quarter
it
mile,
seriously
turn left onto
miscalculated?
West Elm Street.
Yeah, because we could have made it to the other charger, and it probably would have been more faster
Yeah.
because the state of charge would have been lower. But I don't know where the other charger is.
Well, I think this is the street you turn left on up here at the light.
Because to get from 40 to 80% is probably not going to make a lot of
Turn left
sense
onto West Elm Street.
for speed.
Interstate 44 bus.
Yeah, so it would have made sense if we only had 50 miles left. I mean, we would have been down about 10% state of charge. It would have been more efficient charging. But it would have been nice if it would have said something. You know what I'm saying? To let us know that that we could have made it to this other charger because it miscalculated severely the efficiency. By how many miles? 60? What was it like at 280? I mean, they said we will arrive at this charger, what,
It said
86 miles or
It said we
something?
would have 98.
Okay.
And we have 140 miles.
Okay, so it was off by 42 miles. So I guess it was saying we can make 70 miles to the next charger and we would have 50. I guess that makes sense. But it should have said something.
Yeah, instead of just rerouting.
Because we're still at 42% state of charge. And it may take longer to get to 40 to 80. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I didn't know there was another charger.
Continue on West Elm Street. Interstate 44 bus.
It's going to be on the right-hand side.
Okay. And you can hear fans going. You know, I don't know if that's to cool the battery off or warm the battery up.
In a quarter mile, your destination will be on the right.
Yeah, I see the cases.
Okay. Well, at least we could have made it, probably make it all the way to Branson.
On the charge.
Yeah,
We
probably.
may have to.
Your destination is on the right.
Uh-oh, hopefully you got more than one charger open up. You got a Volkswagen ID4 charging. Let's see if any of these jokers say unavailable. We don't need no 350. We just need 150. Yeah, the 350.
Well, this 150.
It looked like that one ain't up, does it?
I don't know what it looks like. Oh, just say it's got an electrified mirror thing on it. I think it says ready. We'll see. You want to go over your stats on here?
Yeah, I guess so. Let me find my app. All right, we had our charges. Were you recording all the other stuff though when I was just yapping?
Yeah.
Oh, we hit our charger, and of course we had that. I'm gonna call it a little fiasco, where it was sending us to a charger, but it was flipping us back to the highway, and it could be because of the state of charge of the vehicle. We still had 42% state of charge when we left. It was predicting that we would have, I forgot how many miles, 98 miles of range left to our destination, but we have over 140 miles of range left, and it's just been going up ever since. So that's off about 42 miles, which is good. You know, we driven, let me see, 162 miles, average speed 67 miles an hour. Been driving for 2 hours and 27 minutes. You see the efficiency is at 2.45 kilowatt hours per mile, and we use a total of 66.3 kilowatt hours. And see about filling this thing up. See if this Electrify America fast charge is going to work. We pulled it to a 150 because we are 42%. No point in going to a 350 because it's going to be reduced charging at this point anyway. Once it hit 50%, so it won't take long to hit that. So this is my first time at Electrify America, and we're gonna see if this buster works.
You good?
I think so. It says connecting to vehicle. Initiating charge. And it sounds like it's initiating. Got some fans and stuff going on, and got the green light.
I like it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And this is the ID4. This is pretty nice. I guess they're almost the same color.
Well, just about.
So how do you like the ID4?
I do. I like it. I only got 8,000 miles on it though.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I got to move over.
So yeah, it's charging, no problem. So this is our first charging attempt, and that was pretty easy. I initiated on my phone before I even came in a matter of seconds. So so far my experience with Electrify America has been good so far. And I know this gentleman here, he pulled up to a 350 in his ID4. He said it was showing unavailable, but you know, luckily I had the app set up, and I'm gonna see how much it's gonna cost. And this might take a minute. I'm not sure what the predicted time is. And I can barely see because of the sunlight. It's like directly over this. But it's delivered about 3 kilowatt hours so far. And it says 21 minutes left until 100%. So I doubt that. But we're ready to go, you know, maybe get something to eat at this Casey's and take a bathroom break. And so far so good. It's been an easy ride. And I don't know if my wife have anything to say. You don't have your microphone on. She's hiding behind the camera, but yeah, everything's going good so far. And we'll just see you know, we'll come back later and see how much this thing is charged and if everything goes okay. Okay, and this is the charging session right here. And right now we're up to 185 miles of range in conserve mode, and it is currently, okay, we're charging at 143 kilowatts, and we added 25.6 kilowatt hours. That's pretty good. That's pretty fast. This is going a lot faster than I thought it would. We're back at 50%, 56% state of charge. You know, so this is going quicker and easier than I thought it would. And so I'm just going to sit here and let it charge up as much as possible. I know it's going to drop off by quite a bit once we get to 80% state of charge. So I might charge to about 85%. We'll see. I don't think they have a lot of fast chargers at the location we're going to. Some of the chargers may only be like 6 kilowatt hours or something like that. But so I don't want to take any risk. You know, I want to have as much range there as possible. So I'm gonna try to get as much charge as I possibly can at this station that I know is working, because that may not be true for the next one. And I guess I'll be back later. So we've been charging for 38 minutes and we added 65.1 kilowatt hours and we're up to 292 miles. This went a lot faster than I thought it would, a lot faster. You know, it's almost up to 90%. You know, we just stopped to take a break to eat and feed the baby. Baby just finished eating, so this is a perfect stop. And it looks like we're gonna have, as of right now, about 170 miles of range left when we get to our destination, and that's plenty enough to find someplace else, even if we have to slow charge. So so far so good, you know. So my first experience with Electrify America has been actually surprisingly good. I'm surprised. It's gone a lot better and a lot faster than I thought it would. We're almost at 90% that quickly. I didn't think it was going to go that quickly, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop this charging session. Yeah, we'll see what the final results are. Okay, it says please unplug. Charging has stopped. Please remove from your vehicle and disconnect. This cable is kind of heavy. Put it back in here, and then it charged me. I don't see where it charged me. Charging costs. Where is it? I don't see it on here.
$31.68 on the right hand side.
Okay, right here. $31.68 is how much it costs. So, and that took 41 minutes according to this. Yeah, a lot faster than I thought it would go. And now it's time to finish this trip and get to our destination. And we'll give you a final wrap up of at least this portion of the trip anyway. Ready to continue on with our trip. We have 170 miles to go. And I'll see you at the next.
91 miles to go, honey.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry.
We have 91 miles to go.
Oh yeah, we'll have 170 miles when we get to our destination. 170 miles of range left when we get to our destination, but 91 miles to go, and approximately an hour and 27 minutes of travel time. Yeah, see, yeah, keep me on track. For real? Really? Oh, so he gave his opinion of the road trip so far, and he's right now he's undecided. All right, I'm pulling into the parking garage, and I'm gonna give the final results of the numbers as soon as I get parked. And so we have the final numbers here. And as you can see here, we traveled more than 262.9 miles. So really, I started it late, probably around 5 miles late. So you can just add 5, just say 268 is what we traveled. Average speed of 60 miles an hour. And the duration of travel is 4 hours and 22 minutes. And you see the overall efficiency for this trip so far. This first leg of the trip is 2.43 miles per kilowatt hour. And we use a total energy amount of 108.3 kilowatt hours. So really we could have made it here. I will say that I am very pleased, very pleased with the amount of range that we got. And I'm going to talk a little more about that later. I'm going to get my wife's take about the trip, so you can, and also my son. So let them give you their take on what the experience was like traveling in the Rivian. And I'll give my take after they give their take. But yeah, so we're here, and I forgot to let you see. So based on our purpose mode, we have 187 miles of range left, and we had 61% state of charge. So this Rivian did very well at the last charging stop. I think I charged up to around 87%, and so it predicted, I think, that we'll have I believe 170 miles of range, and it was above that, of course, as you can see, and that's an all-purpose. If I switch it to conserve mode, it's saying we'll get 206 miles of range. So this vehicle did much better than expected. And like I said, I'm gonna give my wife's take so she can give her opinion on how she felt about the trip and whether or not she felt more comfortable doing this way with a charging stop versus doing a trip in the gas vehicle. Okay, I'm at a charge point station. It's only like 6.6 kilowatt charging station, and going to get some opportunity charging out of this. It's not free, but it's a lot cheaper than going to the Electrify America. It's like a third of the cost. It's like 14 cents per kilowatt hour, so or 14 cents per kilowatt. And yeah, I'm gonna charge up here. It's 7.3 kilowatts. So I'm gonna charge up here and see what I can get. Just leave my vehicle parked here for about 8 hours. Gonna be leaving out tomorrow. So at least it'll be charged up a little more than what it is. At least I hope anyway. This is a charging station right here. I put the app on my phone, so we're gonna see if this thing works. It says tap my phone on here, so let's see if this thing works. Phone on here after I put my app up, and then it accepted it. So, and I do have the app on my phone, so we're gonna see how this works out. It says time elapsed. I don't see any. Okay, it hasn't charged me yet. It's still saying 0 kilowatts. Well, that says shared. And it says not charging. Okay. Hey, all right, let me do something here. So right here, I probably have to turn my charging schedule off. And let's see. Still don't see anything. Right, let me figure this out. I finally got the charger to work. Basically, the one stall didn't work. The one on the right didn't work, but the one on the left did for whatever reason. It's a shared system, so I don't know why one worked and one didn't work, but it's working, and you see it's only charging at 13 miles an hour. This is half of what I get at home. So this is going to be pretty slow, and it's saying 9 hours and 17 minutes. But we're going to be parked here. The hotel's not too far away, and while we're shopping and things like that, we'll just leave this parked here, and get an opportunity to charge, and get it charged up for a trip out tomorrow. And I'll see you all back later. So this charge point thing is working, but it's not the greatest.
Gee, just should have gone to it. Whoa. That's
Hey everyone, we just ended our vacation and now we're headed back. Reset the trip odometer, and it's saying we have 2 hours and 45 minutes to our next charge, 183 miles, and it's saying that it's going to be charging at a Walmart, and we should have 81 miles of range to get home after we reach that destination. And yeah, we'll see you back. So we had our second charging station, or first charging station on the way back home, and I did initiate the charging. In the app it says this is a 50 kilowatt charger, but it's really a 350. And at first I initiated it from my phone before I had it plugged in, and it turns I had to have it plugged into the car first, and then I reinitiated it. Seems to be working just fine, and it's already delivering energy to the vehicle. And it says we have 23 minutes left until 100%. We're not charging this to 100%. We're only going to charge enough to get home, because I think we probably, if we would have pushed it, we could have driven all the way home. Because we still have 120 miles of range left in the vehicle, and I think it's only like 90 miles to our house or less. So, but right now we're ready to get out and go to use the bathroom and maybe get us something to eat. We have some eateries over here, and get the baby changed and give everyone the leg stretch while we get this thing charged up. Yeah, so it just stopped charging. I just set the charge limit to 70% because it's more than enough to get back home, and I'm going to charge it back up. I shouldn't even charge it up this much, but we were doing things and whatever. So we still have other things to do, like feed the baby and things like that. So this went by pretty quickly. We just enough time for us to go use the bathroom and walk back to the car. And it was already finished charging, so I'm ready to end this charging session. Matter of fact, it's already ended, but it put almost 49 kilowatt hours into the battery pack. Only took about 22 minutes, and yeah, ready to unhook this thing, and we're gonna go get something to eat and head home. Oh man. Let me stop this one. This thing is still locked. So what do I want? There we go. Okay, and it just unplugged, and it was charge time 21 minutes, and for the total cost session was $23.52, and that was charging me 48 cents per kilowatt hour, which is pretty expensive versus charging at home. Or if I would have had the plan, it would have cost me about 32 cents per kilowatt hour, just saved about 10, saved a few bucks. But maybe if we go on a longer road trip, we'll get the plan where it saves a lot more money. But for this trip, it's not really that much expensive, that expensive. So everybody ready to head over, get something to eat, and head home. Okay, so we finally made it back from our road trip, and this is trip B. This is our trip home, and you see we went a total of 265 miles. Coming back, average speed 61 miles an hour, duration 4 hours and 22 minutes. And efficiency was at 2.52 miles per kilowatt hour, and the total energy used was 105 kilowatt hours. And we actually, according to, we could have made it home. This pack, it has, I don't know what the usable is, but it has 135 kilowatt hour pack, so we could have made it home with some miles to spare. But we had to stop anyway. because, you know, we had to use the bathroom and stretch our legs anyway. So charged up a little at at Walmart in Sullivan, Missouri, and then we drove back in. But the charging experience was, no, I guess I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so that's the trip in a nutshell, and I'm gonna show trip A, which has both. So we drove a total of 537.3 miles, and the average speed was 52 miles an hour, duration 10 hours and 18 minutes, efficiency was 2.4, and the total energy used was 224.1 kilowatt hours. So, and that includes our driving around to eat, which we didn't do a lot. I did charge up when I was out there at a station, and I'll put that information in the video. But yeah, so that's the trip as far as the efficiency. What do you have to say?
Do you want to talk about how much range you have left?
Oh,
Or no?
yeah, I am. And at our last stop, we came in, I think, at 33% state of charge, and I charged up to 70% state of charge, and right now we're sitting at 50% state of charge, and it's saying we have 151 miles of range left. So didn't even have to charge up that much. You could have saved myself some money and not charge at all, and we could have just used the bathroom and headed on. But I didn't want to take that risk. You know, it's the first road trip, but as I get more comfortable, then, you know, maybe I'll take bigger risks like that later on. But yeah, so that's the trip in a nutshell as far as the efficiency part. And I'll let my wife chime in about how she felt about the road trip and all of that, and just her take on the you know, the charging stops and all those other things that entail a road trip. All right, today I'm going to be asking my wife some questions about the Rivian. This is our first road trip that we ever taken in this vehicle. And so, what did you like about this road trip?
I liked a lot of things about it. I was not expecting all of our luggage to fit in. However, it did. We usually take the Mazda CX-9 and everything is stored in one compartment. And in the Rivian, we put it in different compartments, but it all fit and the storage was great. I was a little scared about our trip because it was only one stop, and driving a gas vehicle all the time, you don't have that concern at all. So if the station did not work and that was our only charging station, my concern is being stranded. However, that did not happen. I think that the charging experience was way better than what I thought. Didn't you?
Yes, I did too. Yeah,
it was super easy and straightforward. And stopping, we usually don't stop when we take a short trip. I guess it was like 3 hours or so.
Yeah, usually not on the way there we don't stop.
And I liked it. I liked to stop in the middle. It made the trip seem so much shorter than driving straight through.
And I agree also that it normally I'm driving and normally I feel fatigued when I get to the destination, and this was Branson, Missouri, and this is a place we go normally. You know, so usually if we ever taking a road trip, we're going to go to Branson. And yeah, when I got there, I wasn't fatigued at all. You know, normally I'm tired, I'm shaking, you know, especially if I had a couple sips of caffeine, like an energy drink. Yeah, I'm usually shaking when I get there. But for me, the ride was smooth. One of the surprises for me was the efficiency. I was expecting to get much lower efficiency from the vehicle, but the biggest surprise was just charging.
Yes, the charging.
So that was a pleasant surprise. Because you hear all the scary stuff about Electrify America and how the stations never work and this and that, how it's difficult to get it initiated, and no problems at all. I had mine initiated within seconds. You know, so that was a big surprise. All the I don't want to call it fear mongering, because I'm sure there's a lot of validity to those complaints. But we just didn't experience that at all.
Yeah.
The experience the opposite. You know, very good charging experience. Charged faster than I expected.
A lot faster.
In fact, a lot. Yeah, we probably could have sat and charged longer because we had a lot of other things to do, like especially with changing the baby's diaper and feeding the baby and just stopping and stretching. Before we knew it, the time was the vehicle was charged beyond what we needed to. But yeah, so that was my experience. So what are some things that you didn't like about the trip? Some things that you wish?
The one thing I was surprised about, which I did not think I would not like, but the navigation. When we went to that,
horrible.
to the first charge, and on the way there, we took the wrong, I guess we didn't get off on the street it wanted to, so it rerouted us to just get back on the highway. And it may have did that because our charge, we still had enough energy, I guess, to get there.
Yeah, but
however, it didn't say anything. It just rerouted us to get back on the highway, and we would have totally missed the charge station whatsoever. So the navigation itself, I thought for sure would be a lot easier to manage and to get through. It seemed like it was difficult.
And I did hear people talking about that in other videos, that the navigation is not the best. And I mean, this is the first time I used it for a road trip. I mean, just getting around town is just fine. But that part where navigating us to that charger, that was a problem. Because before we went on the trip, we figured there was only one charger in the area. You know, I couldn't find any other chargers in, you know, between here and there. You looked it up too?
Yeah, I did not.
Else?
Yeah.
So, and if you watch the video, when I pulled it up on the map, you see construction, you know, like dirt, and so I'm not even sure that a charger was there. And so that was very interesting, and that was surprising how the vehicle didn't notify us. And I'm hoping that's something Rivian, no, not hoping, that's something they definitely need to correct. That needs to be improved, because that was especially charging for the first time, it can be a little disconcerting. You know, it's like, wait a minute. And if you watch the full video, you can see it threw us off by quite a bit. And I cut a lot out of the video, you know, just to keep the length down. But it had us confused for a minute. We couldn't find the location on the map. We couldn't find the original charger we were supposed to be going to. It was... It was, yeah. So that's something I wouldn't want somebody else to experience. And I'm hoping that Rivian can correct that with an over-the-air update. Yeah. Anything else besides?
I think that as far as the air conditioning goes, so when we usually take a road trip, I think you prefer it to be a lot colder than what I would prefer.
Because I don't like falling asleep.
Yeah. And so whenever you click on auto on the vents, it automatically turns all the vents back on. However, I like for the cabin to be cool, but I don't want air blowing directly on me, so I turn the vents off on my side. However, whenever he goes and push auto, it turns all the vents back on. So that's just something minor, but that's one thing that I didn't like.
Or when you turn the car off and turn it back on, it doesn't keep the preset.
It does not.
And so you got to go and do a readjustment again. At least that's the way I believe that's the way it works.
Yeah, I think so.
So if she shuts it off, if we turn the vehicle off and turn it back on again, the vents are going to be back on again. They don't stay off. Which I don't have a problem with that. But a passenger would have a problem with that. But what about the ride quality?
I like the ride quality. We rode all that way, and it was a car seat behind me, so my seat doesn't go back as far as
rear-facing car seat.
Yeah, I guess as it could go. However, I had plenty of leg room. My seat is very supportive, I guess. I guess riding in the Mazda, you could kind of, you know, have aches and pains, so what? But on that ride, I think that the seat quality is really good. In the car, the ride quality is good. The sound quality was really good. We listened to music for a little bit on the way there. It wasn't much wind noise.
Yeah, no wind noise.
I know.
Really.
Yeah, in some cars, like my car makes a whistling noise if the wind blows a certain way. So
That's
with
right,
this
it
one,
does make that whistling
yeah,
noise,
with
yeah.
this car, with the Rivian, we didn't have that issue. So, and it was windy coming back, pretty windy,
Yeah, it
and,
was.
rain,
Yeah,
and
it
raining
was.
some.
Yeah, it was raining on the way there and windy on the way back.
Yeah, but we didn't. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think that the trip overall was really nice.
Yes. And, you know, for
not
me,
many complaints.
For me, driving, yeah, it wasn't fatiguing. The trip seemed a lot shorter than it normally does.
Yeah.
Even though we usually drive straight through, it seemed a lot shorter and faster. For some reason, I don't know why, what the difference is. And I'm not sure if, you know, driving an internal combustion engine has all the vibrations, if that has any, you know, that resonating frequency has an impact on the body where it's more fatiguing. And that could be something to that, where this vehicle doesn't have those vibrations from the engine and transmission, all those other things. I don't know, I'm just speculating, but I'm just saying for some reason the trip up there and back I was not fatigued, which I should have been, because before we left I cut our yard.
Yeah.
And that I was cutting grass for a couple hours before we left that morning, and so you would think I would be more fatigued, you know, on the way up there, but it was not the case. So any final thoughts? Would you recommend a road? So what do you think about going on a longer road trip in the Rivian?
Well, we looked to see just about going to Florida. How many stops would be on the way, because it was a little concerning when we just went to Branson. It was only one stop, so we had to look at different areas, but there are plenty of stops going down, heading south. And I think I like that. I would like to make all the stops that it recommends, because I think that makes the trip feel shorter.
I think it does.
Which is crazy,
yeah.
but I think that it does. You get to get out and walk, even if you just walk around your car and stretch your legs a little bit while your car is charging. We didn't wait very long at all.
Oh yeah,
So,
I just, now that you said that, I just thought of something. The trip odometer.
Oh yeah.
When you turn on the navigation, it doesn't tell you how far you have to your final destination. It only tells you how far you have to your next charging station.
It does.
And I don't like that. That's something that needs to be corrected. And in addition to that, trying to find the trip odometer, you just have to go too many steps. It's hidden. You know, for one point, I couldn't find it. You know, before we went on this trip, I was looking for it. It's hidden under settings, and you know, it's just not in a convenient location where any other car is right on the dashboard. You can see, and that's I'm hoping Rivian can do another over-the-air update and put that trip odometer right there, and also add it to the navigation so you have an idea of how far you have left to your final destination. Every other navigation system I've ever used in any vehicle has had that, except for the Rivian, unless it's someplace hidden where I can't see it. But even if that is the case, it's not in a convenient location, you know, to where it's really user friendly. So I don't think that. Yeah, so you just kind of made me remember that. That was another. Yeah,
but that I think is important, especially in an electric car, because if you miss a charging stop, if you know your total range of how far it is for you to get there, then you can miss that stop. If you know you're going to make it okay, like I'll still have a 50-mile of range left, but we had no idea. It's not visible. So then I think that's a little more comforting to have, because then at least you'll know.
Yes.
We did not.
Yes.
So
because we could have made it to.
Yeah, we could have.
To Branson and back without ever charging. I wouldn't have done that. Maybe not the trip to Branson, but I don't even know why it stopped us on the way back. But I'm glad we did stop. I mean, we had to stop anyway, but it could have made it straight through. I don't know if the vehicle's being overly cautious. And if you see from the video that it miscalculated the efficiency of the vehicle. And I think about 42 miles on the way there. And, you know, like I said, we could have arrived in Branson with probably 50 or 60 miles of range left. The only problem is there's no fast chargers around. So,
yeah, I know, yeah.
And so that's probably why the vehicle did what it did, maybe, because there's no fast chargers in the area. But we did find a charger, you should see in the video, that we were able to charge at a charge point. It charged for about 9 hours, but I was able to charge it up to 99%. or something around 98 to 99% of the night before we came back, and it only cost me $10 to charge at the charge point station. So, but yeah, I love the trip. I thought it was a great trip, and now looking forward to the next road trip.
Yeah, possibly one that's a little longer. But definitely overall would recommend. We had 2 kids in the back, and we still felt like we had plenty of room. We had snacks and toys and everything in the back, and it wasn't crowded. So I think overall, we didn't even use the little tunnel gear where you could reach back and grab things. Maybe next time.
So how do you like this versus road tripping in the Mazda CX-9?
Well, the Mazda CX-9 that we have, the interior is very dark. Like I said, after you got this car, I said, my car feels like a cave.
So
it does, this I really like. It's so open and spacious. I really enjoyed the trip. And probably because I didn't have to drive, but...
but you usually don't drive.
Anyway. On a trip, which is nice, though, to just sit in the passenger seat and relax. So, I love it overall. I don't have... I mean, like I said, the few drawbacks that we had is pretty minor.
I mean, especially compared to the Mazda.
Exactly, it's pretty minor.
Navigation that...
Oh, it don't even have roads on it. So it needs to be updated,
So, this navigation is still better than that. But yeah, that's I think that's it. You don't have anything else? I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything else. It wasn't many things that was. That was.
I'm just saying, performed way better than I was expecting.
Way better. Well, for me, I think the charging stations is what had me concerned the most.
Yes.
And I was extremely relieved when we went to the first one. It was like, oh, it works perfectly fine. I was like, yes, thank you.
And I know there's a lot of talk about the different charging plugs and charging standards. I want to see what the big deal is. I never had a Tesla, so that's probably more of a Tesla owner issue, because if you never use that plug, you don't know what it's like to use it in the first place. And I used gas stations for years, so and even though the plug was a little heavy, my hands, it's not that serious as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what the big deal is. My hands are not that soft, and I don't have a problem picking a plug up when I was picking up a gas station thing that weighed just as much. So I don't see what the problem. And it was easier, because you don't have to smell the gas on your hand. And you can initiate a gas station from your cell phone. So it's still way easier than pumping gas. So I don't see what the problem is. The only thing I care about is whether or not the charging station is going to work when I get to it, regardless of who the service provider is. I don't care who's providing the service. Just as an end user, I just need it to work when I get there. I don't care about a plug. I can use an adapter if that's an issue. So I just need the charging stations to work. And from our experiences, they worked. And they worked better than I expected.
Way better.
Anything else?
Not that I could think of.
Alrighty, well, that's all we have for today. And thank you for joining us. And we're going to see you on the next video. Make sure you watch our other videos too, where I'll talk more about the Rivian. Well, you all have a great day.